Hi, I'm the Tabletop Teacher. In this video, we'll explore the Hydra and Police team abilities. I don't know about you, but when I first started looking at team abilities as a new player, those team abilities looked a little underwhelming. It felt awfully complicated just to modify an opposing character's defense by -1. But the more you play, the more interesting these team abilities become. The key is to make sure you get your points worth. Characters that have this symbol printed on the base have the Hydra team ability. This team ability is usually reserved for Marvel villains. Characters that have this symbol printed on the base have the Police team ability. Several Marvel and DC characters have this team ability, usually police or soldier-themed characters. Some villains have it too, but it isn't the norm. Important note, having the keyword printed on the card does not grant those team abilities. The specific symbol has to be printed on the base, but it is a copyable team ability, meaning that wildcard characters can copy these. How do these team abilities work? Well, I'll use Hydra throughout this example, but know that the Police team ability works the same way, but for different characters, usually not evil ones like those who hail Hydra. A character with the Hydra team ability helps an adjacent friendly character with ranged attacks. So first off, if you plan to use characters with the Hydra team ability, make sure you have ranged attackers that will benefit from it. Let's say Fenris are targeting Nick Fury Jr. Thanks to the Ninja's Hydra team ability, Nick Fury's defense will be 16 instead of 17. For this to work, the character with the Hydra team ability must have line of fire to the target, so it wouldn't work if the ninja were behind Fenris. Range doesn't matter, but line of fire does. This team ability is stackable, meaning that if the twins have another adjacent friendly character with the Hydra team ability that also has line of fire to the target, then the target's defense is modified by -2. Note that the character making the ranged attack doesn't need to have the Hydra team ability. Any friendly character with a ranged attack will do. Some characters with a lackluster attack value become a lot more interesting when they're backed up by a character using the Police or Hydra team ability. They can actually help one another if they both have it. Look at these two ninjas here, common figures from the Deadpool and X-Force set. If you move both of them in hindering terrain, adjacent to each other, here's what you get. They have stealth, so they'll be impossible to target with ranged attacks unless your opponent has some way of ignoring hindering terrain for targeting purposes. Their special speed power gives them +1 to range and damage when they occupy hindering terrain, so that's 6 range and 3 damage. And when one of them targets an opposing character, the other lowers the target's defense by -1. That's two 15-point characters that can each deal 3 damage with a fairly good chance of hitting their targets. Add Imperial Hydra to the mix, and if one of those ninjas gets knocked out, you'll have a chance of bringing in a fresh 40 points or less character with the Hydra keyword from outside the game. Want to try something fancy? Here's a fun Hydra-named theme team that includes several easy-to-find characters that can use the Hydra team ability. You can change the harder-to-find characters for some that you have in your collection. Make sure to have a ninja tag along with Baron Strucker and Imperial Hydra to take advantage of their mastermind power and have a chance to spawn new Hydra characters when the ninjas are knocked out. Okay, so it's not a new player-friendly team, but you'll get plenty of opportunities to use the Hydra team ability. Here's a fun little soldier team that should make good use of the Police team ability, although Wraith's style often makes him a better close combatant than range. But since he can ignore characters for targeting purposes, you could actually modify a target's defense by -3 if you position your characters just right. And with a bit of luck, General Lane's leadership will keep Wraith active almost every turn. This team is unlikely to win you a tournament, but you'll have fun with your characters being able to hit almost every time. When you're playing against a team that uses the Hydra or Police team ability, one of your best strategies is going to base the opposing characters. Make sure they can't make ranged attacks, and that pretty much throws a huge wrench in that strategy. Plasticity is your friend here. Since the opposing characters require adjacency, a single character with plasticity can prevent 2 or more characters from using the team ability. Do you have a favorite character that can use the Hydra or Police team ability? Share your battle stories in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the Tabletop Teacher, spend $1 on Patreon if you can, and as always, thanks for playing with me.